Hey, I'm Molly Ovenden, and I am here excited to celebrate. It's June 30th, 2026, and right here in my hands, it's Cold, Wet, Windy. It's my newest poetry collection, just out today. It's my sixth one. This is a collection of 100 poems written for individual people at their request, on the spot, in live settings, with my vintage typewriter. Now, I am proud of this collection particularly because I have written it since living again in the UK. I have learned after 3.5 years of writing poems for people, almost 1,000 poems for individuals are written at this point. I've learned loads, and I am so grateful to be back home in England, in Leeds, in this cold, wet, windy place. The cover of this is a view, a photograph I took out my window in England, and it is the perfect depiction. When I saw this view from my window, I thought, this belongs on the cover of my next poetry book. So I wanted to read a couple of poems in celebration so that you know a bit more of what this book is about. Here is a poem called A Notebook of Possibility. Copiers spit out repeats, instructions of how to be, but these diagrams and how-tos, they just aren't ever me. Toners explode, ink weeps, striking out what might be and marking off possibilities, casting shadows, obstructing peace, pressing an emblem in wax, imprinting a symbol of just my own, recuperating under the melting, heated by candlelight, choosing the dry warmth instead of the char or the burn. Emotions and thoughts burst through. Unwanted intruders arresting me in a prison. But I shall escape. I'm determined to write a newly claimed identity, restored history, unexplored excitement, solving mysteries. No more carbon copies, conforming to the powers that be. Instead, I'll shred those letters and rip out a page of blank opportunity. And oh, the freedom of a notebook of possibility. Now that poem was written for someone who, as you might suspect, hearing that was looking for a new way, a new start, rather than conforming to the old patterns, how they used to live. They wanted a new, fresh start, that joy of the openness of what could be from a notebook. Write your own story. That's what they said. This next poem is called Being Human. I wonder what of this you might relate to. Sometimes being human is really hard. So I hope that you feel connected with this individual who requested this poem about being human. Here it is. Being human is befuddled by daily basics, waking up, remembering all the things. Being human is hard. Muddled by communicating in foreign translatable languages, being human is complicated. Cuddled by communities making ripples of love, being human is kind. Shuttled by reliable truth, transporting us on motorways of life, in presence now and throughout time, being human is mysterious. Huddled by obscurity, hiding behind walls of darkness, opaque meanings, searching instead for transparency and feelings, and yet being human is hoping. Sometimes it can feel lonely, and I wanted to create that connection that that person was asking for in that poem. Let me read one more here. Now some of the poems are longer. Some of the poems are a lot shorter. I call some of the shorter poems haiku-esque poems. There are a few events that I did where I asked visitors to request a poem requesting a weather word, an animal, and an emotion. And so some of these poems in this collection represent that. So this one was in response to that prompt that I gave them. It's called Misty Hedgehog. Maybe close your eyes and imagine. What do you see? What do you imagine in your mind's eye as you hear this? Misty Hedgehog. Mist shreds damp mornings. Mute shrubs shiver. Exposed, a hedgehog tootles out. So those are just 3 poems written for 3 delightful individuals. I can remember seeing their faces, and as a way to say thank you to everyone who requested a poem, and a way to preserve the sacred moment that we shared as they told me things about themselves and their lives to personalize their poem. In alphabetical order, in the beginning of the book, I list my gratitude to these individuals. A special thank you, alphabetical order, all of the names of the individuals who helped to create these poems that I listened from inspiration that they gave me to personalize their poem. I just want to say thank you. So thank you to you for listening, for watching, for joining me on this journey. You can find out more about Cold, Wet, Windy, my 6 poetry collection, and all of the other poetry, joy, and goodness happening in this studio behind the typewriter. You can visit my website, mollyovenden.com. Thanks so much for listening.